Coochie. Cooch. Okay, we've just rented this massive land. Now, we rented only the olive trees. It has a vineyard on it, but that's rented out by somebody. But it has a bunch of olive trees. And not to count my chickens before they hatch, but they seem to be loaded with olives. So we'll definitely be picking here in around October, November, depending on how the weather is and how the season goes. And it's all flat land, not a hill. And our house is over there behind those trees, so it's near the house. Very convenient. I got my buddies with me. Like they're just loaded. Ooh, we're gonna do good over here. These little yellow leaves are not very good to see. But since we just took it over, and they've only been sprayed a couple times, a little bit of TLC. And next year, a little bit of trimming too. Okay, here's a huge mulberry tree, and it's the white mulberries, not the dark colored ones, which I don't particularly like. I like the other kind. It's loaded too. One of the few things, fruits that are loaded this year. There's no cherries, very few apples. There's no apricots or peaches or anything like that this year. See the mulberries? These are the pure white ones. They do have a different taste. That branch is loaded. It's weighted down. Whew, look at all of them over there. Now these birds, anytime you till the land or do anything with grass, tilling land, cutting weeds, cutting hay, these birds show up. Now he cuts one side, here they come. As soon as he cuts the other side, they go over to him on the other side. There's 5 or 6 of the white ones and quite a few brown ones. You can see them over there. Just as soon as Giovanni turns the corner over there, they'll fly over the other side. There they go to the other side. They just follow Giovanni all around. There they go. They stay more that way because the dogs are on this side. Even a black one showed up. Coochie, did you see the birds? Huh? Here, this is another day. I can't remember which day of the week, but it was the other day. And this is the one of the doctor's lands that we're using the trencher, which the trencher is the attachment on the back of the tractor that just chops weeds. And we're cleaning up that land. So this is the doctor's land that he had bought last year. This is the second time we've been here to clean it up. And because we had a hellacious springtime and all it ever done was rain, the weeds are really, really thick. And our equipment is big, so Giovanni's cutting through it slowly. It's just a little time consuming. So the trees look a little ratty. They were trimmed last year, but they're not in shape because this was pretty much abandoned land. He's having a little bit of a hard time. The weeds are really thick. It's like a thicket. Like not just weeds, it's like briars, everything that grew. So we're going to try to find a friend of ours that's been with us for about 15 years or so. He's working on a pool for somebody in another town because he does all kinds of different work. And that friend, I'll introduce him in a future video. Anyway, we're going to send him down here to clean around the trees. All the little briars, the pricker bushes, and all the little growth around the trees. He'll come along and clean that. Because if we have to pick olives here in November, because it looks like it's loaded actually. If we have to pick olives in November, we need the trunks of the trees clean so that the nets can wrap around the tree easily without any kind of, I don't know, if there's pricker bushes there, the nets get hung up in it and everything else. Instead, we're going to clean it up really good. And like that, future work is going to be easier. Well, that's what's going on today, is this olive grove. It's going to take all day. More hay cutting on a different day. More hay baling. We've been doing this off and on. And this kind of work's going to continue for at least another week. Gucci. Here we got two rocks jammed up and it kind of created a little bit of havoc. So we had to truck it back to the house, which was right next door, and kind of fix it. When you're dealing with old equipment, things go haywire. And then we discovered one of the bands came off. So we had to fix that. And then Giovanni discovered some of the, I don't know what you call it, the little pins or the fingers that feed the hay into the baler. Some of those were missing, so he went and bought some of those. But at least this thing is really old and ancient, so we're still able to find parts for it, which is a plus.
No, non trovo Pietro, sei arrivato. Oh. Non lo so. No.
You want me to turn it? Okay, the baler is fixed for now, so we went back to work. So now, earlier in this video, I had added a clip of Giovanni cutting the hay here. So, meantime, a few days have passed, and Pasquale came down and gathered it with the gathering attachment, which we call a rendenatore. Now, Giovanni, after we fixed the baler, we came down here to bale this land. And it's near the river, like I had shown before. And that's what we're doing right now. And this year the hay is just what grew like weeds. We did not seed this year because the price of seed was so high, we didn't buy it. And also all my neighbors that do hay, they did not buy seed. It was just too expensive. So because of all the rain, there were a lot of weeds. And that's what we're baling, but it's not a high quality. And it's not going to be top price when we sell the rolls of hay. There's a massive rock in a hayfield. Not good, not good. Okay, for example, this little stretch of land here, it's just a little land. Okay, apart from the wild pigs kind of dug up the dirt on top of the cut hay, which this is not hay that's black from bad weather. Giovanni's not even going to bother baling this. It can't be sold like that anyway. And then here's where we are near the river. This is good hay. Well, semi-good, I mean weeds, not seeded. But this is sellable. Whereas if we were to roll this hay, it would not be sellable. But that's how the year went this year. It was so much rain and hail. The hail beat some of the hay to the ground, which it couldn't be cut. So we're just doing the best we can. Hey, Coochie. Coochie's so curious. If I were him, I'd go find a spot in the shade, but he walks all over in the sun looking for things. Butterflies, lizards, anything. He's my little round buddy. He goes with me everywhere. Coochie, you did find a spot in the shade, huh? A little round bud. Okay, just for example, here in the middle of the hayfield, there's this fig tree. Never been, it's never taken care of or anything. Okay, I get that. It doesn't get sprayed with anything. But this tells you how the year go by. I have never seen figs, even the wild ones, have any kind of disease. This year they do. This tells you how the year's going. See the spots? They should not have those spots on them. And the mulberry tree that I took a video of earlier in the video, and it was glorious and loaded with mulberries, a white mulberry tree. A couple of days later, they all fell all over the ground. And they weren't even ripe. Well, I guess the string got caught. Okay, keeping old equipment together, and this goes for any kind of machinery, even a car, no matter what country you're in. If you buy old equipment, you have to take in consideration the mistreatment it had before, being out in the weather all year, maybe never, being serviced or oil changed or greased. So you just have to roll with it. New equipment, yes, we take care of it, yes, even the old equipment. But like I said, I mean, old equipment, it's just an uphill battle keeping it together. Old tractors. We have old tractors, new tractors. We have old attachments, new attachment. And we're always working on something. Okay. The little town up there is called Castel San Lorenzo. Let me zoom in. We live in the foothills of 3 medieval towns near the River Calor and Cilento. And that is Castel San Lorenzo. I just noticed that you can see a little bit of Aquata, the town of Aquata over there on the hill. So that's a second town. This video was at least 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago. So this is us trying to set up a little bit of the garden area. And the garden we decided to scale down this year. We used to grow a big crop and sell the tomatoes, but because we contracted a couple more olive groves, we decided not to have too many irons in our fire, because when you're like that, nothing goes good. Your energies are all scattered and nothing turns out good. So we're going to streamline things. So it's just the vineyard and it's just olive groves, olive oil. And this garden is just for us, just for our family. So that's what we have decided to do. And in the next video, I'm going to do a little bit of a garden update, because I've been working over there trying to straighten that up too. And I'll explain some of the problems we've been having over there too, because the weather, everything's gone sideways. So in the next video, I'll do a garden update, also a potato update, and also a vineyard update, and some of the problems we've been having with a disease that popped up because of the wet weather. It kind of breeded a disease. And it's not just us, it's the whole area that's having a problem with it. Okay, well, bye for now.